Like, I don't know if
Okay, good. I've got a great question for you. I've got a really good question for you, right? Okay, remember when Hassan Piker said America deserved 9/11?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Say there's somebody who's not a citizen, they're on a tourist visa in America, and they say that, and they're a Muslim extremist. Do you really think that they should be in the country and their right to free speech should be protected?
Well, if they are religious extremists and they're coming here and saying 9/11 and they're not a citizen, like 9/11 is good, you know, we should do more 9/11s. I mean, it's hard to say because I think advocating for more 9/11. Look, I don't.
So this is probably my hot take, but I think the answer should be no. I don't think they should be deported. Okay, like even if by the way, just everybody who comes here are typically people who love the United States. If you don't like the United States, you wouldn't agree to come here in the first place. Nobody is forcing anybody with visas or student visas to come. Nobody forces anybody to go to the United States. People typically have to go through huge hurdles in order to go to the United States in the first place. Like going to the United States is like you have to go through a lot to get to the U.S. Like nobody is ever like doing something like, oh, I don't even want to be here, and I'm forced to go here. That's silly, right?
I don't think they should be here.
So even the people who are typically coming over here are like people who love America to some degree. Yeah, which is why it's kind of silly.
Here, if you don't like the country, you probably shouldn't be here for obvious reasons.
I think that's like a normal view. I think that's a normal view.
Making it like if you're going to deport somebody for speech, you have to. I think it has to be pretty clear cut. I think it has to be like the type of standards that you have with slander cases, because you know I just see how it could be easily abused. And so I agree that there is some line, but I think that line should be basically as far as possible.
Okay, I mean, look, I understand your point, and I think that's pretty fair. I mean, there is a big...
What? Just put them at the same fucking level as any other fucking American citizen. There's plenty of fucking white kids who are more than happy to say edgy fucking shit who are American citizens, right? Like, do you change these rules just simply because they're black or brown? It's fucking weird, right? The average CPU... No, I got that radiant. Thank you.
Big problem, though, where it's like, how do you deal with the fact that there are people who've moved to America as like sort of Muslim migrants, they've naturalized, they've become citizens, and then they do stuff like Hassan Piker, where he's like literally justifying 9/11 on stream. Like that is a big problem for the culture.
Well, no, I think Hassan Piker is like a perfect representation of an American. He is, you know, very consumerist, covered in like, you know, types of like luxury clothing. He's streaming, playing video games all the time. He's made his country. He's made his future here. He's employing Americans. You know, he's living the American dream, even to the point of giving your hot, spicy Yankee tanks. Like I disagree obviously what he said about 9/11, but
I think he's an American citizen. He's an American citizen. He's American in a legal sense, but I think culturally he pretty much hates America.
And he doesn't seem to be particularly. I mean, I don't know. It's like hate America. I think he hates what we do.
He
on
has
the world
actually.
Stage.
Dude,
I think he has melted his brain with America bad syndrome to the point where he is missing the forest for the trees when it comes to a lot of world conflicts. And I think that like, one set track mindset is negative. But I also know so many people like on college campuses who were just born here who believe that. So I don't know if we should really be saying like, okay, well, since you're a citizen, you have extra free speech rights.
I'm not necessarily saying they should have extra free speech rights. But
if Hassan can say that about 9/11 and an immigrant can't, don't they?
Well, Hassan is an immigrant himself. I don't think he. I mean, he's obviously naturalized.
Citizens. Once you're a citizen,
he's unfortunately.
Oh yeah, like Drew Pavlou, the fucking Australian, is telling Americans whether or not Hassan Piker is an American or not. Motherfucker, Hassan Piker has to be one of the most Americans, okay, of all Americans, okay? Because the average American these days hate America, okay? So he already, like, fulfills one of the conditions to be an American, okay, is to hate America, because it's very hip these days to hate the FBI, to hate the CIA, to hate America as an institution. So yeah, he is very American actually, and he's living the capitalist dream. He is probably one of the most American, but at the same time the least American. He is the most hypocritical American out there, okay? Yeah. He lives like a capitalist. He literally lives like the capitalist pigs that he hates. Yeah. Like the guy would run an entire like fucking plantation of slaves if it will help him get more viewers.
Naturalized.
Okay,
He's unfortunately
you've
naturalized.
got in the dinghy.
I understand that he's unfortunately naturalized, but I honestly think of Hassan Piker as just a
Drew Pavlou also shouldn't be Australian by his own definition. Oh, really? Did he come from Britland or something?
paperwork American. I don't think he actually likes America. I think he basically hates America. And I think that's really bad for the culture. And I think...
No, yeah, but it doesn't matter. You should have the freedom to hate America, right? Like, yeah, I just, like, this isn't, like, who cares? Like, Jesus.
I think it's people like Hassan Piker who are actually creating this massive backlash against immigration in America and across the Western world. Because it is a really tough thing. Like, my family descend from migrants to Australia, right? 60 years back. And I genuinely think that people who are migrants should be patriotic and should love the country and should be thankful. I don't think that people should be going around doing what Hassan Piker does, and literally as a first generation American, literally cheering on 9/11 and terror attacks. I think that is just like a disgusting way to be. I think it's a disgusting way to act.
Bro, that's not even your fucking country. Like, you don't even live in America to mourn the people who died on 9/11. How the fuck are you mourning 9/11 harder than the people who are literally living in the United States? I hate people who are like constantly Ameriboos. Like, they're even more cringe than weeaboos, right? Yeah. Like, these Ameriboos, like fucking Drew Pavlou, will put America above all else, and then they'll bastardize like what it means to become an American. You know, part of America is free speech. So the thing is that if you bastardize that, like Drew Pavlou is doing, like, yeah, like why the fuck are you bastardizing it, right? Like, that has to be one of the most anti-American, if anything else. Yeah.
I'm talking
Cringe.
culturally right now rather than legally. Like, I think it's a huge problem for the culture. Like, if you have...
Quick meme. You better be putting more Fox News onto Obsidian, okay? What? Why? Stop. This is Coomer bait. Okay, alright, I don't care. It's too loud.
Like, first-generation migrants like Hassan Piker who are going in and then they're just, like, literally cheering on terrorist attacks and talking about how much he hates America all day. Like, that's a horrible problem for the culture.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that if you're going to move here, you shouldn't cheer on, or, I mean, he didn't cheer on 9/11, at least. He said that it was...
He kind of did. He said it was justified.
He said we deserved 9/11, and then he clarified his position to say, due to our imperial policies in the Middle East, this was the backblast of what was caused by our act. He's not cheering it on as much as he is, you know, trying to put the background, what he would say, putting the background context.
Australians care about 9/11. Why is that cringe? Because he doesn't actually care about it. It's very clear to me that he's just using 9/11 and all the thousands of people who died to go against American ideals. Like, there's a difference between genuinely mourning 9/11 and caring about it or having some kind of ties back to it versus using it in order to go against the First Amendment, right? Like, the fuck? Would anybody from, like, think about it. Would the victims from 9/11, would the victims' families from 9/11 appreciate it if you used their family members' deaths in order to justify going against the First Amendment? Hell no, right? That's insane. If anything, you're insulting people who died on 9/11. To be fair, I do feel for Drew's concern of American civil war and culture shift. I don't want America to lose its hegemon status in the world because of the other big players. Yeah, but the problem is that right now, the superiority of America is being weaponized to push the MAGA regime forward. And the problem with Drew is that he is just MAGA now, right? He's a MAGA foreigner. He's like Ian Miles Chong, right? Yeah.
Upon why it happened. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it still, but it's I don't know if I would call it cheering on.
This is a good
Either
question,
way,
though.
Like him saying that America deserved it. America didn't deserve it. Definitely when you talk about those civilians, they didn't deserve it. Nobody deserved it. And when we talk about, like, America deserved 9/11, what did that mean?
Like, when we criticize Hassan Piker for making that statement, we're making that statement because we're criticizing him based off of how, like, racist and misogynist or whatever the fuck he's being, right? But nobody is advocating for, like, Hassan Piker to be deported, like, legitimately, right? Although, to be fair, like, I think that if you have a personal grudge against him, like if your name begins with Destiny and ends with Stephen Bennell, Colonel... I don't fucking know, dude. I'm sorry. then you're gonna feel some other way about it, right? Obviously, yeah.
For the people, like what does that mean for the people of Afghanistan? What does that mean for the Middle East? Hell, that's having effects on South America. It's the AUMF that is allowing Trump to strike Venezuelan boats. Like the out effects of 9/11 is multi-generational and devastating.
There's somebody in the chat who says, I know Drew would be too cowardly to say that to Hassan's face. No, I would just straight up say it to his face. I've said it multiple times. I've posted it like dozens of times, and he sees my tweets because he's
like, I don't think Drew would be too cowardly to say that to Hassan's face. I don't think anyone would be too cowardly to say to Hassan's face. I don't think Hassan is an intimidating figure, to be quite frank.
Someone said Hassan's born in New Jersey. Sorry, I actually didn't know that. I didn't realize he was born in America. But look,
was he born in New Jersey?
How do you even not know that? Like, what the fuck? So you're telling me you never knew about that, but you're willing to assign a prescription to getting rid of Hassan? How's that okay? So you're just dishonest, right? Like, it's just very clear and simple. You're a fucking spineless worm. You're just being dishonest. So you didn't even know that Hassan was born in New Jersey? You don't even know where he was born? That's not important to you? Like, to the process of naturalization?
I thought he was born in Turkey.
I thought he was born in Turkey, but like at the end of the day, like he grew up in Turkey, I'm pretty sure.
He thought he was born in Turkey?
And like he does talk about himself.
Yeah, New Jersey, New Brunswick. Huh.
Yeah, so I don't know. Look, Hassan talks about himself as like a kind of first generation migrant. Like,
bro, dude, I hate people who talk this much shit, but he doesn't even research his ops. Like, he doesn't research his ops. I feel like if Hassan is like one of your biggest enemies or whatever the fuck, right? Why the fuck don't you know anything? Like, what the fuck?
That's how he kind of frames himself. He says, I grew up in Turkey.
He was 40.
Yeah, but anyway, all I'm saying, right, is like, he talks about himself basically as a first generation migrant. He says, like, I was born in Turkey, I grew up there. And then he moves to America, and then he's just talking about like how much he hates America all day. He's talking about, America deserved 9/11, one of the worst terrorist attacks that ever took place in American history and stuff like that. And all I'm saying here, right, is like, I think it's so bad for the culture for like first generation migrants to act like that and behave like that. And it creates a massive backlash. It really does.
Okay, but in this case, like, he was born here, so like, it does create a backlash against what?
I think it just creates a backlash overall against like Muslim migration to America. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a good thing, but I'm just saying like if there are Muslim migrants to America who then cheer on 9/11, like obviously that's going to make people pretty unhappy. I think that's just like a statement of fact.
I'm not even saying that if people get that perception, or it's created by those people saying that, which they shouldn't say, that obviously that's going to be devastating for relationships between immigrant communities. I will say though,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm scrolling through Drew's Twitter right now. The dude posts like 50 times an hour. It's actually insane. Well, the reason for that is because he gets money off of impressions and engagement, right? Like, if we check his Twitter, like, he's a grifter, right? This is how he gets money. It's not like he has a successful streaming career, right? Like, the way that Drew Pavlou is that he farms engagement on his Twitter, and he gets paid by Elon Musk. Wait, where is he? Yeah, right here. Like, he legitimately just like fucking tweets out as like all day. His job, his literal fucking job is tweeting. Is fucking tweeting. If you think streaming isn't a real job, can you imagine having tweeting being your job? He's literally a propagandist as a job. Like he's even going after Greta Thunberg over here. I swear that Greta Thunberg, this is such a fucking weird post too. I swear that Greta Thunberg has been sailing around in circles on the Mediterranean Sea for like 6 months now. I think she's lost. Literally Swedish neurodivergent Odysseus. Like, this isn't even funny. Like, I don't even get the joke. Wait, defend Western civilization. Okay. Like, he's such a loser.
Man.
Wow. What is this?
This is gonna be crazy. This man is literally in a burning building.
Oh, there's fire around the door.
The entire
What the fuck?
Oh my gosh, this is the craziest thing we've ever filmed.
And behind item is $500,000, which he could win if he completes 7 death traps. Out of there! Out of here! Come on! In case you're curious who the shaman is, he's actually a professional stuntman. But we are gonna push him to the max in this video. They still gotta get the money. All the rooms on fire. All right, watch out, Chandler. All right, that's 2 of the 10 bags. He's on fire. He's literally on fire. Nolan, get the fire extinguisher. Hurry up, the house is about to collapse. All right, that's it. That's it. The money's on fire. Oh my God, the money's burning. Come on. Oh, you did it. His legs are on fire. Put it out.
Dude. Okay. Anyway, the point is Drew Pavlou, okay? But Mr. Beast is wild and now too, okay? To be fair.
Kind of uniquely attuned to take in immigrant populations. We've kind of have a pretty decent history at it.
All I'm saying though is like it's pretty devastating for relations between like migrant communities and non-migrant communities to have like people like Hassan Piker who talk about themselves as immigrants and then just go out and just say Americans served 9/11.
Like, we took in so many Sicilians and we're still functioning as a country. That's an achievement in and of itself.
I mean, that said though,
why was that such an evil laugh? Like that was such a diabolical laugh. What was that?
It's pretty devastating for relations between like migrant communities and non-migrant communities to have like people like Hassan Piker who talk about themselves as immigrants and then just go out and just say Americans served 9/11. Like,
we took in so many Sicilians and we're still functioning as a country. That's an achievement in and of itself.
I mean, that said though, I've had these long debates and
that is
discussions with this guy on Twitter called Shagzadeh. He's a really smart guy. He's like a Shia Muslim scholar, and he's like one of my favorite Muslim guys. He's a really smart guy.
He's one of your favorite Muslim guys. All right, carry on.
Shagzadeh, and even he says this. He goes like the amount of trouble that was created from like just even like the Sicilian kind of mafia and stuff like that. It did actually change American culture to an extent because they had to kind of invent like RICO laws to try and like crack up these mafia gangs and stuff and a lot of people make the argument that like the RICO laws are really illiberal. So in a way that America kind of had to sacrifice some of its liberal kind of. America had to make it kind of like a sacrifice.
Oh yeah, guys! If you guys haven't joined the server yet, for people who are waiting for my streams, you can get my updates immediately if you join the server. I don't post updates anywhere else. I don't post them on Twitter. I don't post them anywhere else. So discord.gg/Foodshops. If you want to follow my Twitter anyway, you can do so. Not Foodshops. All right, I post some spicy tweets from time to time. Yeah. All right, just follow me, okay? Also subscribe. Thank you. All right, I appreciate it.
In how its legal system operated as a liberal legal system.
Who is your favorite Muslim guy? Kronto. I'm kidding.
To try and crack up the Sicilian mafia, and that in itself is kind of a sad thing. And not saying that I think Italian migrants overall have been a great benefit to America and across the West, of course. And I'm literally a Greek migrant, so I can't even talk. But I'm just saying like all I'm trying to make the point is like. And Shagzadeh makes this point, he's literally a Muslim migrant himself. It's like there are these big cultural trade-offs that do take place. And it does take, like in the case of Italian migrants, it actually did take generations.
I joined to call someone dumb and stayed for the cool and vibrant community. Talking about me?
To assimilate people. Even in the Greek community, like my family's like 3rd, 4th generation, and it takes generations, I think, to assimilate people pretty fully.
Yeah, it's also questions about where people go. Like, for example, if you get a bunch of people in an enclave and you keep them in an enclave, it's going to be much harder for you to integrate those people. Whereas if they're dispersed amongst populations that they're forced to live next to people who are different than them, not only is there going to, like, I think that kind of eliminates this in-group, out-group mentality immediately because you're forced to kind of be part of the group, but it also means that, like, you're kind of forced to learn the language. You're forced to integrate with people who are different than you. You're kind of forced to figure out the pluralistic values of the society. And so, I mean, a lot of it has to do, I think, really with management. And I think that we've gotten through time better and better in the United States at managing immigration, honestly. People talk about how bad it is now, but I mean, you should go look at the old cartoons and stuff they were producing in like the 1920s and 10s and such.
No, I actually think that you are right to an extent that America's gotten better with dealing with migration over time and stuff like that. I think it's a lot worse in Europe. I think Europe just struggles with integration like on a much deeper and more profound level because like Muslims in America are actually quite integrated.
Okay, all right. I think I'm good. Wait. Eh? What the fuck? Alright, whatever. Where did Steven go over today?
What? No, he deleted it. Ugh.
Somebody let me know. Somebody has let me know when he was covering Connor, because I cover Connor pretty frequently. So apparently he was also covering. Oh, we were gonna watch this. I guess he already watched this as well. Yo, Corey. Yo, Corey, 70. Sorry, not 70. $40 on Streamlabs. Thank you. Holy fuck. Thank you. That's so much. That's like $50 from YouTube. If you took off 30%. Or around 30%, that is. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I see it. Okay, just checking it's there. Thank you.
Or right now, at least nothing with a good catchphrase. That's because every single thing that the left does.
Wait, hold on. Let me read out your message. For all your hard work and dedication to streaming daily, despite all the setbacks, I would have shot a hole in my computer after all that shit. Thank you. You're one of my most loyal viewers on God, like you are. Yeah. So thank you. I really do appreciate that. Okay. Yeah.
Has to be defensively from the
Okay, not this.
Republicans. That.
But how?
Whenever Ock tweets about.
I think it's right before. He started playing Final Fantasy 50.
Chief executive of the company that makes Tylenol got a text message.
To convey is to straight white men to look out for evil scientist and Buzz Lightyear's and pops.
Right.
Putting gays, blacks, and progressives and annoying over-the-top messaging into video games and movies, trying to promote a degenerate, sex-positive, trans-positive, drug-positive, cynical, destructive, postmodern worldview.
Okay.
This is Gamergate right here. Taking over academia and pop culture to the point that they have alienated half of the population who feel like they're constantly presented.
Yo, Akimoy, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs on Kick. Holy shit. Who the fuck keeps donating to me? Thank you. I appreciate it. It's you guys, okay? I know who you guys are. Wait, what was the original? Drew Pavlou, of course. Okay. Sorry. He's a very forgettable guy, okay? Yeah, Akimoy. AKA Misaki. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you.
As the enemy. I understand this instinctively. Buzz Lightyear, the Buzz Lightyear movie. I know it's stupid. You can make fun of me if you want. I don't care.
What are they doing the Buzz Lightyear movie?
Fact that
Oh no!
They took
Oh no!
Zurg, who was supposed to be an evil scientist and Buzz Lightyear's father, but then they turned it into Zurg is a
There was Zurg lore on this guy.
time-traveling Buzz Lightyear who was corrupted by space in order to becoming a supervillain. Was the dumbest fucking plot point I'd ever seen in my entire life. And I was thinking, what is this message? What is this movie trying to convey to my son? Because I was watching it with my child. And I think the message is trying to convey is to straight white men to look out for the evil inside yourself, which is that's an okay message. But Jesus Christ, does it not feel like white straight men are consistently the villains in modern media?
What? Is Buzz Lightyear supposed to teach us that message? Is it... What? Has Counterpoints ever thought that maybe a movie can just simply be a movie and you don't have to go that far? What? What is he talking about? Bro, it's a fucking stupid, fucking Toy Story movie. Just shut the fuck up and eat your popcorn. What the fuck?
Using liberal and progressive, like mix it up. Just throw an Arab terrorist in there every now and then. You know, throw a black gangster in there every now and then. You know, throw a Asian Yakuza member in there every now and then.
Wait, haven't we been doing that for like the last like 30 years? I feel like we've had like offensive stereotypes for like the last 30 to 50 years, no? Like the fucking Sandman from Star Wars, the fucking Rush Hour, right? The stereotypes of like Asian men and black men, right? I thought we had that all the time, and we have like 50 trillion hood movies. Like, do you know how many fucking hood movies we have? Boys in the Hood, fucking Straight Out of Compton, straight out of Compton, right? They all show the degeneracy of like minorities and shit all the fucking time. I'm so confused what he's getting at here.
Just spice it up. Anyways,
couldn't it just be like a normal black villain and a normal Asian villain and a normal Arab villain?
Also, isn't there like black villains all the fucking time? Hold on. What? Last 20 superhero movies. Sorry. Wait, was Blade woke because Blade is black and the vampire final boss was white? Was Blade woke when it was made back then? I feel like generally movies are pretty good, right? In terms of having... Also, movies constantly have straight white men, like being the main character. Iron Man, right? Hulk. I mean, he's green, okay? Thor, Captain America. Yeah, like, these are all white men. Wait, what? Guardians of the Galaxy, right? That was also a white guy. Ant-Man, also white guy. I'm so confused. What is he talking about?
Using liberal and progressive values to govern social media to the point that in the late 10s, it felt like you could not be a Christian, literalist, social conservative,
like,
pro-Trump person without being censored.
All these movies are like 10 years old, retard. Nice, good one.
Censoring COVID and election topics in the name of the greater good, leaving the border wide open, causing a migration crisis that has resulted in murders and rapes, prioritizing the economy and the profits of corporations over the well-being of your working and middle class. The Silver didn't like that I put this as a left-wing sin, but I would argue that this is Bill Clinton with NAFTA, and that this is the... Stop getting on my mouse, dog. My dog is walking on my mouse rope. Anyways, I would argue that this is neoliberals. Shrugging off crimes committed by ethno-religious minorities and sexual minorities while freaking about every crime committed by a white straight man. This is 100% true. BLM riots and deaths supported by the left, the Steve Scalise shooting, okay? But then look at this, okay? I'm not going to read it because it's going to take me a long time, but I've had the screen up for...
Culturally, like the ham-fisting of like the white bad, capitalism bad thing was cringe. Like, I agree with that, I guess. The obsession with like Islam, the religion of peace, that was also mega ultra cringe. But I feel like we've moved. I feel like that was like 10 years ago.
Wait, when? Okay, maybe I missed this. Like, which movie was like Islam? Because I remember there was like a plane hijacking movie. I remember there was a plane hijacking movie or something. And I think I remember that. They thought that the hijacker was the Muslim guy because of racism, but it turns out it wasn't the Muslim guy and he was actually helpful or something like that. I think the movie is called Flight Plan or something.
Prioritizing the economy and the profits of corporations over the well-being of your working middle class. That would apply to the Republicans way more than the Democrats.
I don't know.
For a while. There are projected...
Okay, listen, I think we can play Hades 2, okay? We can't play Borderlands 4 because that's going to explode my computer. But I think we can safely play Hades 2, okay? I'm going to reinstall it.
14,200,000 people who will die in the next 5 years as a result of right-wing policies. The right-wing laughs about it. They're totally callous about it. They don't give a shit about it. And you're wondering why people think you're fascist. You're wondering why people think you're authoritarians. You're wondering why is everybody treating us so poorly? All we wanted to do was overthrow the government and the constitutional order of the United States. All we wanted to do was dispossess trans people through legislation. All we wanted to do was ban abortion, which while I think that
I said this in the Discord, but I think it's the end of the month, and he's farming those MAGA subs he's got kids to feed. No, I don't think Counterpoints has a MAGA audience, unless you're talking about somebody else. Yeah, Counterpoints is his audience is all DGG, but he captures only the moderate side of DGG, right? Yeah. Unless somehow he got his audience from somewhere else. Where else could he have gotten his audience? Maybe Chef Ataku or something? I don't know.
Elective abortion is immoral. There are plenty of women who have been injured and or killed as a result of the new legislation. It could be dozens, it could be hundreds, but you have to understand that that's a moral horror for the left wing. Propagandizing the public into distrusting and hating every facet of government. Alienating and attacking our allies through trade wars and stupid geopolitical grievances. This has destroyed tens of thousands of businesses.
Wait, really? What?
Tens of thousands of small businesses have been destroyed by Trump's tariffs. We are looking at substantive increases we are looking at farmers.
Okay, this isn't like the worst that Counterpoints has ever said. Like, for me, at the very least, like, that's not the cringe parts of Counterpoints commentary. You know. It's usually worse than that.
This guy,
Tim Kaine and Mark,
you know, from just like a multifaceted
of vindication. And it's really interesting because I didn't do none of this, right? I just kind of do my own thing. I keep my head down.
This guy, Asmongold, is now the largest politics streamer on Twitch, and then he gets a lot of flack via the Asmongold community, and then LSF is completely lost to him now because my community will always hate him. XQC's community is probably always going to hate him, and now the larger Asmongold community will always fucking hate him. So I think he's just like, he keeps selling this idea of like, all these people it's like the Trump thing. Oh, trust me, all these people tell me this thing. I can't tell you any of their names, but all these people behind the scenes are ready to fight. They're ready to come out, guys, but they're feeling the pressure. He's like trying to signal to his audience to like, you know, give these people props or encourage them to join the fight. But the reality is, like, little bro, no one cares. No one gives a fuck about this shit on Twitch. They just want to stream and do their thing. Like, Extra Emily and, you know, fucking Valkyrie and Pokemon are not like, oh God, like I'm so ready to join the political fight, but I'm so scared of Republicans. Like these people just don't care that much.
Or immediate vicinity. In the space that we occupy, we're so fucking terrified of saying something because they were fearful of the repercussions. This created an environment where only right-wing voices were heard. That's what,
like, if what Hassan is saying is true, it's only true to the extent that the only fear that's been created in these spaces comes from left-wingers. Because the fear is that if you talk about anything that's not Israel-Palestine, and you don't have the maximalist position that every Israeli should be shot and killed, then you're fucked. You have absolutely nothing to contribute to the zone. So insofar as anybody's scared to say anything at all, it's because people like Hassan push the most important topic, something that very few Americans even care that much about, is the maximalist.
Oh yeah, I have people wondering like what do you have to do in order to get the red roll on my server, which is the stalker roll. I reward the red roll it's really easy to get it. All you have to do is go into content suggestions and give me content. If you link anything to me, I will typically fucking stalkerize you, okay? Yeah, that's it. That's literally it. It's not some kind of in-group. It's not some kind of cringe in-group like clique kind of role or anything like that. Like, it's just a way for me to incentivize you know, linking content for me so that you can get like a cool red name, okay?
Position on fucking Israel-Palestine. So if this even is an issue, he has nobody but himself to blame on this.
I was fucking out here 1v25ing motherfuckers because the only people that spoke
or click
were right-wingers that said this is all awesome.
I don't know who he thinks he's 1v25ing. Motherfucker won't even 1v1 conservatives in debates. Like, this guy's a pussy. This guy will not have a confrontational conversation with anybody. So I don't know where this like delusional fantasy comes from, but
ICE deportations, sign me up. I'm gonna do fucking Pokemon hunt.
Okay, I'm curious what hold on. I'm curious what was there really nothing today? Like, nothing? Okay, maybe it's good that I started stream late then. due to the PC issues. So I don't wear myself out early. 1 day ago.
People out of control and crazy. We're going to stop that very soon. We have to get rid of a couple of other problems first. We're going to get rid of the problems in Memphis where you can't
I can't believe these two are like back together. What? Jesus.
even walk a block without getting
Again.
shot. We're going to
Like they're back together for like the 3rd time now.
Healthcare. We asked to.
I did hear about that. That her ties with Israel. My JLP was like a predator.
Oh, and they're trying to get out on the.
They're collecting them all.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Could be, yeah. JLP does fit in with that whole coalition. Yeah.
Did a
Yeah, they
Jesuit
just got tacked on now. JLP.
Let's go.
university, which is Regis University, located in Denver, Colorado, and her grandfather is a guy by the name of Carl Kenneth.
Hold on. I also just realized there's a lot of overlap between Tectone and JLP, right? I think there's a lot of overlap between those two people on a
Yeah?
metaphysical level. Yeah, the extremely closeted and
Okay. What is Queeman up to? Queeman.
And some of the people driving these ideas
Just like are trying to concern troll, and I think
Dude, he's such an autist. Playing fucking Sonic Adventures. Jesus. Okay, hold on. Aspen Gold hasn't been releasing any content recently, right? Because of his dad? Good. Sorry, that was unhinged. Oh, he hasn't been releasing. Okay, good. She was right and normal people wander gone. Oh yeah, I never watched the Shoe on Head video. Has Steven watched the Shoe on Head video? Yeah? Oh. I actually never watched that video.